happy anniversary, Hogwarts. A special anniversary approaches before the celebratory feast. Dumbledore has an idea for an exciting project that will pair you up with your beloved Hogwarts staff. Hello, you want to see me? I have some exciting news. What about, sir? It's about Hogwarts and you. I hope there's nothing wrong. On the contrary, it's time for a celebration. It can be hard to say exactly when Hogwarts was founded, but last night, during a long talk with Godric Gryffindor's portrait, he let it slip that the time for celebration is nigh. It's nearly Hogwarts' anniversary. To mark the occasion, I have planned a special project for you and your friends. I'll tell you all about it, then you can get started straight away. We can fast forward this. Boop, 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 boop. I see, to celebrate Hogwarts' anniversary, you're going to pair up students with special Hogwarts mentors. You'll work closely with those who are an integral part of our life. Here at Hogwarts, you'll not only learn about more about the castle and all that goes into making such magical place. I have also asked each mentor to give you a bit of valuable life wisdom based on their own experiences. It sounds like quite an involved project, so that's not all. I have saved the best bit of news for last. Once you have finished your assignments, we will reward your efforts with a glorious anniversary feast. We will fill your minds and then fill your bellies. I can't wait to get started. Then tell me now that you know all about that project, what are you most looking forward to? I'm excited to learn about life from the Hogwarts staff. I'm sure you'll get quite an earful from some of them. Now, let's get you started to begin. I'll have you head outdoors to meet your first mentor, Rubius Hagrid. He will be waiting for you in his garden. Hi, Hagrid. Let's go meet Hagrid. There you are. I assume Dumbledore told you I'd be your first mentor. He said we would be working closely together so I can learn about you and the castle. I suppose I'm supposed to give you some big dose of life wisdom as well. It's a tall order, but I thought I might start by showing you what Hogwarts means to me. That sounds good. As you know, Hogwarts is a wonderful place, home to many powerful beings of all kinds. But no matter how powerful you are, most of us still depend on others for something or another. Take Fane here. I depend on him for companionship, and he depends on me for his baths. In fact, he started to smell worse than an infestation of bandy bum. Now that you mention it, there is a bit of an odor coming from him. He most certainly does. He loves them. But of course, he can't bathe himself. It can be a bit of a challenge on my own, but I think the two of us can handle it. That's alright. And we would be better get started. There's a lot left to do and learn before our time together is over. Fane smells fresh as the day I met him, and you can see just how much it means to him. The smell has improved considerably, but he looks quite happy. I guess he does like baths. To be honest, I always assumed he would hate them, but then I had to give him one, and I found out I was wrong. that happens to me a lot. I feel like I learn a bit more about the ones I love every day. How about you? Do you feel like you have lots to learn about your loved ones? I'm sure I have lots to learn about the people I love. People are quite complicated. That's only the truth, but I'm glad to feel the same way I do. It's good to stay open to discovering new things. And that's an important part of growing up, I think. Is that the life lesson you wanted to teach me? I'd say that's part, but there's a bit more to it. Me out on the foggy moor next. I'll show you what I mean. Hello, the next part of Dumbledore's project brings us outside the castle and onto the spectacular grounds. Yeah, three beasts. No, but you're on the right track. Working at Hogwarts means I get to take care of all the fascinating plants and creatures that call it home. It's a big part of why Hogwarts is so special to me. It gives me the chance to make my life, doing what I love. I gathered a few creatures who are in need of some help. I thought you could help me care for them. I'll introduce you to each of them and tell you a bit about what's going on with them, then we can start. Alright, I know what I need to do. First, I'll assess the water so we can find what's wrong with it. Then I'll determine which food to feed the dung bog so we can feed it. After that, I'll calm the augury so you can administer a bit of medicine. When they are feeling alright, what's a dog bog's favorite food? Shit. I'm afraid that's not right. Mandrakes. Shit, I should have known. I hope you pay better attention to these creatures than you did to me instructions. Well, goody for you. How was I supposed to know that? Brilliant, the Laquata just needs some exercise. Now consider the food options and see if you can figure out what kind of food we should feed Doug Bog. Looks quite happy now, well done. One more creature, calm that augury down. You did a bang up job, we're all set. That's all of them, blimey, working with creatures can be a challenge. It's hard work, but there's little more pulling to me than caring for Hogwarts creatures, and I'll tell you why. I was young, I was an orphan. Dumbledore took me in, he set me up as a gamekeeper, and Hogwarts became me home. Me job's an opportunity to return the favor by giving these creatures a safe place to call home. Now that we have seen what Hogwarts means to me, it's about time for that life lesson. There's only one more thing we need to do before that. Don't worry, I promise I have saved the best for last. Me in me hut. You said you wanted to meet me here so you could complete our final task. After bathing Fane and helping those creatures, I can't imagine what we'll do. What's left to do before you give me my life lesson? This is what's left. What is your last task for the day is enjoying a fresh, warm cuppa with your old pal Hagrid. So take a seat and pour a cup. I can finally give you that bit of life wisdom you were talking about. That's a fine bit of advice, and there's a lot of wisdom in it. You said the most important thing in life is doing what you love and making sure to slow down and enjoy it. That's what I've done, and it's worked for me so far. Now that we have slowed down a bit, tell me, what did you enjoy most about our time together? I enjoyed helping the magical creatures. That's one of my favorite parts of my job as well. I'm glad we could spend this time together and do something we both enjoy. And though I hate to see you go, I'd say your work here is done. The time for you to move on to the next mentor. Part 1 complete. Part 2, pair up with the wise Professor McGonagall for Dumbledore's anniversary project. Hi, Andre. What an incredible anniversary project this has been so far. Pitts was my first mentor, and we just finished preparing food for the anniversary feast. I'm sure you'll meet him someday. He's the house elf who works in the kitchens. It was a curiously nurturing experience, learning all about him and what Hogwarts mean to him. I've just had a similar experience with Hagrid. We worked on the reserve together. Pitt said something along those lines too. Seems Hogwarts has a long history of helping those in need. Hello, children. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. I have many things to attend to and precious little time in addition to Dumbledore's anniversary project. I must still prepare for my classes after all. If I am to show you what Hogwarts means to me, I can think of nothing more illustrative than class prep. It's time you understood all the work that goes into establishing and maintaining the reputation. Given our time restraints, we'll have to do several things. Before my next class, we need to arrange desks, rewrite the lessons, and undo some transfigurations. Let us begin. The classroom is restored, and I think I understand the transfigurations that need to be done. You need some invisible spectacles made visible again, and you need to restore a trumpet to a tortoise. You were listening, but let's find out how closely. Tell me, what spell would you use to untransfigure this trumpet? We'll counter the effects of the original transformation. It's good to know you were actually listening. If you're up to the job, please restore the trumpet to the tortoise. All I have to do is cast a page. There we go. Now let's see if we can restore the invisible spectacles. Reveal you. With those spectacles, you have done a wonderful job with both spells. You clearly observed my instructions well. But first, I must entrust you with the final important assignments. My next class is beginning soon, and this is all must be done before then. I'll be teaching mice to snuff box next. What? But I need a fresh crop of mice for the lesson. I assure you the mice are perfectly harmless, and this lesson is the utmost importance. I often find mice in the artifact room, nibbling on the odds and ends. Collect what you can and bring them here. Alright, then we'll head to the artifact room. I hope you're ready for the hunt for mice. We just need to find a few for Professor McGonagall's class and on mice. Then we can hold you back. It sounds so simple when you lay it out like that, but it feels a bit funny if you ask me. I know we are meant to be celebrating Hogwarts by learning from the staff who keeps it running, and I'm sure Professor McGonagall has a plan of some kind, but I can't help but wondering what lesson is there in having us gather mice. We'll have to work together to catch them. I'm sure that's the lesson. Whatever the case may be, we'll need to work fast if we want to catch these mice before our next class. We found plenty of mice. We just need to catch them, but they scurry away when we approach them. Perhaps instead of both of us trying to catch them, you could chase them towards me. I could use one of these empty boxes to gather them as they run my way. Now walked like a treat. Good thinking. We had to work together, like you said. Let's bring these to Professor McGonagall. I still want to learn more. We have successfully caught the mice you wanted for your mice snuffle box lesson. We had a bit of trouble at first, but we devised a plan to work together. I'm quite pleased to hear that. It's exactly what I was hoping you would do. As you know, Hogwarts is a place of remarkable academic achievement. We celebrate Hogwarts. We also celebrate the collaboration, trust, and efficiency required to run it. Now that you have experienced work that goes into preparing for each class, I give you my life lesson. I see what you are saying. The key to success in adult life is making sure you use your time efficiently. It isn't always a solitary pursuit. Sometimes we have to place our trust in others. Precisely, and that's what makes Hogwarts so remarkable, at least to me. Hogwarts is a place where brilliant witches and wizards come together to make something spectacular. Which reminds me, the time for our Hogwarts anniversary feast is rapidly approaching. It will be time to celebrate, but I'm sure you'll both enjoy your next assignments. I'll have you stay here so we can discuss your next mentor. You will travel to the 3 broomsticks and retrieve some supplies for the feast. Your next mentor will be the beloved former student, Mademoiselle Morta. She'll have useful things to teach you. Perhaps one more tipple will do. Leave us alone. I wasn't talking about nothing's shove off. Professor McGonagall said you're my next mentor. So I am, and I'm so pleased to be a part of this grand celebration. Hogwarts means a great deal to me, and I'm honored to get to tell you a bit more about that time in my life. since our time was limited, let's get straight to it. Then I'll bring you the butterbeer for the anniversary feast. Where should we begin? It's hard to know where to start with Hogwarts. There's always a lot going on, a lot to celebrate. It took me a long time to get settled. I often felt a bit out of the loop. Over the years, I noticed that if you are listening, the castle communicates with you in countless subtle ways. Precisely, poachers whisper, ghosts tell tales, rooms reveal themselves and vanish. Once you learn to listen closely and pay attention, the castle can tell you about almost everything you need to know. I learned to listen closely and pay attention to my surroundings. It's been an invaluable lesson. I use it every day. I'll show you what I mean. Let's do a quick exercise. If I want to circulate the crowd and just listen, just really listen. Come back to me when you have heard something useful. Alright. Madame Morta, I overheard two wizards discussing something that may be useful. Tell me what you have heard. It sounded like a bit like they were speaking gibberish at times. They kept saying Repellium Tanella. That's not a spell I'm familiar with, me neither, but that's not all they said. They also said someone set up a temporary mellow sweet stand on the streets of Hogsmeade. They've got their hands on a special shipment and they are selling it at a discount. They also said mellow sweets is an expensive ingredient in butterbeer, so I thought a discount may be useful. I'd love to take advantage of that discount, but I can't rush from the inn while we are so busy. If you go fetch some mellow sweet for me, I'll give you an extra barrel of butterbeer. Of course, happy to help. Brilliant, I'm always looking for ways to cut costs. If you can bring me back a case, we'll be in great shape. I'll head to the streets of Hogsmeade then. Part 3 after some wheeling and dealing on the streets of Hogsmeade. It's time for your final and most challenging mentor. I have no idea what you're talking about. The streets are full crowded today. This must be the wizard selling the discount mallow sweet. Excuse me, I'd like to purchase some of your discounted mallow sweet for the 3 broomsticks. You're staying next to these barrels and I just saw you make a deal with that witch. You're smart to be so secretive. Of course, these days, you never know who you can trust. You are wise to put up some defense. To be quite honest, I was worried the password may limit my sales too much, but so far it's worked perfectly. So you're selling mallow sweet, I knew it. Blast, I should have kept my mouth shut, you tricked me. No, I only meant to pay you a compliment, but now that your secret's out, why don't you go ahead and tell me what's in that case? I can only sell what's left of this mallow sweet to a select group, those who know the password. So if I know the password, you'll sell me mallow sweet? What's the password? I just need a moment to remember it. I remember it now. It's Repellion Tanello. You had me worried there for a while. You said you wanted a case for the 3 broomsticks. That's no trouble at all. I can even deliver it if you like. I'm finished for the day. That would be great. I'll run ahead and let Madame Morta know. Thanks to you, the Hogwarts anniversary feast will have an extra barrel of butterbeer. It's not every day I get to be part of the Hogwarts feast. I'll tell you what, since you were so cunning in your approach, I'll cut you an extra 10% off the price. You can you drew me out with a compliment, and I can appreciate a laid trap as much as any back alley wizard. Wismoto will be delighted. Another round of on me. I know Butterbeer is beloved, but I still wonder if it's a bit underappreciated. I got great news. I found a wizard selling discount Mallow sweets, and I was able to secure you a whole case at a great price. As it turns out, I needed a password. That was the only potential for trouble. I overheard those wizards saying before was actually the password I needed. I just repeated it, and voila, Mallow sweets. That's wonderful news. You have not only owned an extra barrel of butterbeer for the Hogwarts anniversary sweets, giving me the perfect setup to reveal that bit of life wisdom Dumbledore asked me to come up with. I'll tell you now, then you can hurry back to Hogwarts. I see Hogwarts taught you to listen closely and pay attention, and that has been quite valuable in your life as an innkeeper. Just like you did with those wizards from before, I learned to pay attention to every detail. The older you get, the easier it is to tune out the world and focus only on what's in front of you. Never know when a couple of loose-lipped wizards are going to spill some important information. I hope so, because that singles the end of our time together, at least for now. It's time for me to send you along to your next and final mentor. Are you excited to meet your next mentor, or just excited to finish up and get up with the feast? I can't wait to find out who my next mentor is. I'm quite excited. That's interesting. Is it? Well, it's not often you find someone so excited to pair up with August Filch, your final mentor for Dumbledore's Hogwarts Anniversary project. As I heard it, Filch took some convincing, but I believe he's now waiting for you in his office. Hurry there and complete your project. Tulip, you are paired up with Filch too. I have just come from a brilliant mentorship with Madam Hooch, so it's not all bad. Whatever happens, at least we have the anniversary feast to look forward to. This isn't time for senseless chatter, it's time for work. Not that either of you would know anything about real work. You're wrong, we both work quite hard. I have only seen you two work hard at stirring up trouble. Because of this so-called anniversary project, it is my job to teach you a lesson. Perhaps I should start by getting out the shackles and locking you up. That would certainly teach you a lesson. I'm not sure you understand the nature of Dumbledore's project. That may be what you heard, but I have got my own ears, you know. Then before you get out the shackles, hear us out. I'm sure we can convince you. Alright, fine. Dumbledore didn't mention the anniversary, and he didn't mention the shackles. Suppose he's right to wants you students to learn about the castle and all that goes into keeping life safe, whatever. It's easy for children to take our walk for granted after all, and teach us about the castle and the work you do. I certainly don't have time to argue about it all day. What if you want is a taste of work I do? I can show you firsthand. Here we all gather around, there's no time to waste. If you want to celebrate Hogwarts anniversary by learning about the work I do, be my guest. You can start by cleaning the Great Hall from top to bottom. Don't leave a speck of gas. But I believe you are supposed to teach us a life lesson. Life is hard and the work never ends. There's your lesson. Get to it. He's one part of Hogwarts I could do without. Don't you feel the same way? Actually, like a soft spot for Filch. He's misunderstood. I don't think life is hard is much of a lesson. The lessons I have learned so far have actually been useful. That's an excellent point. My lesson were useful as well, and perhaps this is the perfect opportunity to use those useful lessons. If I do what I love, I'll never work a day in my life. We both love doing magic, so perhaps we can use magic to clean the Great Hall. It was a great idea. Anything to make this enormous project a bit more exciting. And McGonagall said the key to success is efficiency and teamwork. So let's each take half of the area. So let's pay close attention to Filch. While we walk, perhaps he will slip up and reveal something we can use. Brilliant, that was a big job. But the Great Hall finally looks ready for the feast. And did you notice Filch and Mrs. Norris? He said he was going to watch us closely, but he spent the whole time showering affection on her. I could hear him cooing at her the whole time we were walking. Could be the key to softening him up. Perhaps our time with him will go a bit more smoothly if he sees us treating Mrs. Norris well. Come to think of it, so I may have something we could give Mrs. Norris as a present of sorts. I made Dennis a toy fly on a bit of a string a while back, but he's shown no interest in it at all. I guess he prefers the real thing. But I bet Mrs. Norris would love it. It's worth a shot. We'll shower affection on Mrs. Norris and give her a charming gift. Now that we are finished, Filch is sure to give us another assignment elsewhere. Perhaps you can grab Mrs. Norris' gifts while we are on our way to the next location. What did I say about staying around and not doing? You may be finished here, but there's always more work to do. Come to my office straight away, and I'll tell you where you can get started next. Winning over Filch is your best bet to get to the anniversary feast. Your friends, mentors, and prize awaits. Alright, now that the two of you finished cleaning the Great Hall, it's time for your next assignment. Perhaps it's time I gave you some truly difficult work that should teach you. But before you do that, would you allow us a moment to give Mrs. Norris a gift? Not at all. The whole project is meant to be a celebration of Hogwarts, and Mrs. Norris is our favorite part. She is quite special, alright, so I suppose you can give her a gift. Damn. Loves her new toy, Mr. Filch. We are so pleased. Yes, yes, she does, and those were fine true words you had to say about her. You're right that she's got fur that shines like a glow bug and bigger, more adorable eyes than a mooncalf. She especially grows tired of toys quickly, but not this one. Perhaps I'll let her play with for a while. But what about our next assignment, sir? I plan to make you scrub the dungeons, but you have made Mrs. Norris so happy I don't want to interrupt. Your kindness to Mrs. Norris must have put me on in a strange mood. Because I'm considering giving you a task that is dangerously close to being enjoyable. It's supposed to help decorate for the feast, so perhaps for your last assignment, you can choose the decoration from my box of confiscated items. I'd be happy to. I've got fireworks, luminous balloons. Which do you think would be a better addition to the feast? Luminous balloons will be a nice addition. Go and take them to the Great Hall and be done with it. And I can't entertain you two all day. As far as I'm concerned, you have completed Dumbledore's project. Brilliant, I'll bring our selection to the Great Hall now and get ready for the feast. Hello there. It's good to see you. You are in fine spirits. I'm afraid you are here a bit too early. The feast hasn't begun yet. Mentorship program. I've brought the decorations for the feast from Mr. Filch. I'm glad at least some of us are still excited for the feast. You're not excited? The anniversary feast is our chance to celebrate. That's precisely what's got us all down, I'm afraid. We ghosts can get quite excited when it comes to all things Hogwarts. It's our home after all. I was at first. We were all rushed here, eager to decorate for the feast and demonstrate our love for Hogwarts. We were such in a rush, we forgot we can do no such thing. Decorating requires more. Remove objects, after all. We ghosts can't contribute. You mustn't skip the feast. An anniversary celebration for Hogwarts wouldn't be the same without its ghosts. You are making that up? I'm not, believe me. If you give me a moment, I bet I can prove how important you are. You're right, even if we can't decorate, we still are important parts of Hogwarts. The ghosts are essential to Hogwarts life. You all guided lost students and help us start to understand the castle. As the longest standing residents of Hogwarts, you know its history better than anyone. And without you, Hogwarts wouldn't have its reputation as the most haunted dwelling place in Britain. We may have been quite forgetful today. Perhaps all the achievements has gone to our heads. Thank you for reminding us that we are important to Hogwarts. We serve as guides for students and Hogwarts historians. Not to play favorites, of course, but which of these ghostly duties do you consider most important? Hogwarts is wonderful, but your presence is what makes it special. Without you, we would just be a school. I suppose you are right. We make Hogwarts what it is just by being here. Thank you. Now that you have lifted our spirits, we all look forward to seeing you at the anniversary feast. Speaking of that, Dumbledore came by looking for you earlier. I believe he would like a word in the courtyard. Only that there was something he hoped to share with you before the feast. Then I'll head to the courtyard now to see what Dumbledore wants. I've just come from helping the ghosts in the Great Hall. They said you wanted to see me. I'm glad they saw you. I heard you lifted those spirits. As the end of my anniversary project is drawing near, I wanted to have a word with you about it. Hope the experience was educational. I also hope you have enjoyed yourself. And I learned a great deal from Hagrid, Professor McGonagall, and Rosmota. Hagrid told me to make sure I always do what I love. McGonagall taught me to be efficient but trusting. And Rosmota taught me to listen closely and pay attention. I even got to put the usefulness of each lesson to my test during my time with Mr. Filch. But before you go, allow me to join the ranks of your wise mentors by offering a few final words on my own. Thank you, Professor Dumbledore. I think I understand. Basically, each celebration of the past is a chance to look for lessons we may carry with us into the future. I designed this project to be more than a mere celebration. I was hoping to prepare you. You have learned from Hogwarts' beloved groundskeeper and one of our wisest professors. You also worked with our beloved former students, as well as our prickly caretaker. Oh, indeed it is. So tell me, which of the lessons will be most helpful to you in the years to come? I think making sure to do what I love while finding time to enjoy it will be very important in its future. Hagrid's happiness may be all the evidence you need. The truth is, no one has ever finished learning. However much you know, there is always more to discover. Hogwarts provides a foundation, but to live a satisfying life beyond its walls, your education must continue. Hurry to the Great Hall and join the feast. There are several people waiting. Attend the feast. Happy anniversary, Hogwarts. Perhaps I'll start the 3 plates and see how I feel after that. I'm so pleased we spirits decided to attend the feast. Blimey, the place looks amazing. It's a Hogwarts anniversary feast, so I expected something special, but not this spectacular. There you are, we have been waiting for you. I'm sorry to keep you waiting, I was just admiring the feast. Said you hope to speak with me, is everything alright? In parts thanks to you, Dumbledore's anniversary project has been a huge success. The Fire and I would like to share a word about your efforts before the feast begin. We wanted to thank you for all the work you have done and for teaching us all a little something along the way. Hogwarts is just the beginning. As you get older, there's still plenty to get to learn. You're someone we are lucky to have learned from. Thank you for that. That's what Dumbledore's meant when he said my education must always continue. It's a matter of staying open to the world and looking for lessons wherever you can. One of the most important things I learned at Hogwarts is how to do just that. Thank you for teaching me about the castle and for better preparing me for the years to come. I may not always know what's coming, but thanks to Hogwarts and to all of you, I'll be ready. Good, and for now, your work is done. All you need to do is celebrate with your friends. But before you go join the others for the feast or something, I'd like to give you. It's important to enjoy whatever you are doing. So make sure you have done that. What a lovely picture, thank you. You can take it wherever you go, so you always remember this project. Go on and join your friends, you've owned it. Well, sick, that was wonderful, thanks.